This week, we'll be diving a little into the history and lore of Helldivers 1 and 2, which is primarily item descriptions and a little bit of dialogue given from NPCs, so I'll do my best to put it in a digestible story. The origins of Super Earth. Before we even start on the Helldivers, we have to first cover their place of origin, Super Earth. There's a lot about the history of Super Earth we don't know yet, but what we do know is that Super Earth had a past before managed democracy was established, before it was super and just Earth. The knowledge of that past starts with the Great War. The Great War could be looked at as their version of a world war between the different countries. It was known that the separation of the people would, in due time, be the cause of the end of the Earth as they knew it. So things had to change. That change was managed democracy, which gave the Earth full control of the future state of Earth. And so it was Super Earth. More on managed democracy later in the video. The origins of the Helldivers. So regarding the start of the Helldivers, it could be a little contradicting from the lore of Helldivers 1 to Helldivers 2. Helldivers 1 states that Helldivers were originally drafted from the army, whereas the second game states that they weren't drafted, but volunteers idolized by the people. Both could be true if it originally started as a required role, but turned into something that everyone dreamed of becoming as time went on. There were about 100 years between each game, so there's definitely a big chance that things just changed over time. Super Earth also gives their citizens an issued ceremonial M2016 constitutional bolt action on their 16th birthday in hopes of joining the military when the time comes. According to the Ranger and Defender DLC in Helldivers 1, Helldivers were trained in scouting and the assassination of high-value targets, but became more rare the longer Super Earth evolved. In the early phases of Super Earth, before humanity was unified in the new ways, it is said Helldivers also doubled as riot police to take care of anyone not obliging to manage democracy. They first got their name from hell pods used on their fight on Northman's Creek against socialists trying to succeed from Super Earth. And from there, they were known as the Helldivers. The Intergalactic War. In the year 2084, mankind ventured into space, curious to see if there was anything worth investigating beyond the stars to benefit Super Earth. Mankind not only found something, but started something that would be our main focus for at least the next 100 years. That discovery was other alien life forms. In the beginning, it was peaceful. With the knowledge of other life and the potential threat it could have caused, created the Intergalactic War. In the beginning, it was bugs, cyborgs, and the Illuminate, then slowly dissolved into bugs and the automatons. A war that would continue to this day. Foreign species. The Terminids, or bugs for short, are a sentient alien species that resembles the pest on Super Earth, but on steroids. The Terminids were wildly known for their production of their fuel from decomposition that could be compared to Earth's fossil fuels. With Super Earth realizing their value, they traveled to the bugs' home planet, Kepler Prime, planet of desert known to the eastern front of the galaxy. The only thing was the bugs were not a fan of our resource gathering, and the rest is history. Now, the Illuminate is a more advanced life form, especially if comparing to the Terminids. The Illuminate, or Squith, as they called themselves, were known to believe that they were enlightened beings and originated from the ocean. The squid-like creatures were known to have settlements in the south sectors of the galaxy. The first encounters of this species were in the late 21st century, from their reoccurring ship sightings. It didn't take long for Super Earth to realize just how advanced in technology they were, with devices big enough to destroy an entire planet. With that, Super Earth thought it would be wise to disarm and force the Illuminate of signing a treaty which stated to turn over their highly advanced weaponry and banning them of having an established armed forces. Now, compared to the Terminids and the Illuminate, the cyborgs were the closest thing to human, being that they were once a citizen of Earth themselves. See how I didn't say Super Earth? Now, the cyborgs were highly known of not agreeing to the new ways of managed democracy, hence why their homeworld is now a planet called Cyberstan, a snow-covered wasteland. They were known for their acts of terrorism against Super Earth and their augmented form with their cybernetic body. With their beliefs, they were soon conquered by Super Earth and depicted as socialist. Within the 100 years, give or take, the cyborgs would transition from half-human, half-cyborg to a full-on robotic killing machine, known as the automatons. Managed democracy. Now back to managed democracy and exactly what makes up this form of government. Managed democracy has different branches that Super Earth relies on to keep the sovereignty and progress in their unique ways. The most popular would be the Ministry of Truth, one branch that dedicates itself on truth and providing the most accurate information out there with an accuracy rating of 100%. Sources against the cause are chalked up as propaganda and will be reported to the nearest democracy officer. The Ministry of Defense is pretty self-explanatory, being that they are the ones responsible for managing the military forces. Ministry of Expansion is responsible for the expansion of colonies across the galaxy as well as their resource extraction. The Ministry of Humanity's sole purpose is to maintain healthy, productive voters by managing education, healthcare, and genetic management. which I'm pretty sure that just means no to babies if they say so. There are a couple more known ministries, but I'll play a fundamental peer that makes up Managed Democracy. And for a fun little bonus, technology. There is an array of different technology that is used, especially to help the fight in the intergalactic war. One called the GWW that is used to receive information instantly, like voice communication and important messages from Super Earth. If you were ever curious on how the Super Destroyer ships get to one part of the galaxy to another in seconds, that is from the Alcubierre drive. It was invented in the early 2030s and works by creating a wave and having space flow around the ship. And our last tech fact is the Greenhouse Type 203, which gives the ability to grow all sorts of vegetables, fruits, and other plants on all colonies of Super Earth across the galaxy. And that's much about what we know about Super Earth. Not everything is clear and easily written out as some other lore-based settings, but the community has worked together to gather what we do have. The most unique thing about it all is that the story's still being written. Not by anyone on Super Earth, but the Helldivers out there constantly fighting for a better world. With not just one Helldiver, but all who have stepped on the battlefield for the cause. We're here for the next chapter, for Super Earth, and for Managed Democracy. Thanks for watching.